Services Committee. We'll just start the agenda with apologies for absence.
Ellen Shaw and Maxine Benton, MSDC.
Thank you. Any requests for dispensations, declarations of interest? None. In which case, if we could take a look at the minutes of the Youth Services Committee held on Wednesday, the 19th of November, they're attached on page 523. And if you could just ask to receive, adopt and sign the minutes of, if everyone's happy with that, can you raise your hand, please? Thank you. And could we receive and adopt the minutes of the Youth Council meeting held on Wednesday, the 26th of November, which are on pages 24 to 29? Raise your hands. You.
Can I just ask a question about the Youth Council? With us, managed to go to any of the meetings, but with that many people, is it active? Like, is it this doesn't feel like too many people? They're very keen. And I'm guessing not all the people that have signed up are going to come to every meeting.
I think it's going to naturally dwindle away. It's already down a little bit, but
I mean, it's great that it's such good numbers, but it's just whether it's
no, they're all very keen and
great.
Not particularly shy. They're all joined in. They're telling us what they want.
There wasn't it probably?
Yeah.
Last time.
That's great. Thank you.
I know they appointed it. They've got a couple of social media. Do they have a?
I don't think they've done a lot.
They've got a live account. Is it worth
Yep.
following them? Yeah.
Well, I found
It's been swimming.
yeah.
It's Insta. Is it cool?
Yeah.
But maybe.
Yeah, I'll pop in minutes because off the top of my head, I'm not
Yeah.
too sure.
No, Ethan who goes to a lot of our meetings on Mondays.
Yes.
He's been getting a debating society going to the school.
Excellent. So next on the agenda, we've received 2 grant applications to consider. So if we could turn to pages 31 and 32. So the 2 grants to consider this evening are from the Seven Oaks Free Arts Festival, who've asked for £600 towards the cost of hiring the venue and pianos. And I think.
Have you finished?
You can see.
No, thank you. Can we support this? It's it's a well-established festival, and it involves a lot of people of all ages. I took part when I was 10, 100 years ago.
I agree.
74 years ago.
My daughter's visited it before. And the second one is from the Kent Youth Jazz Orchestra, who have applied for a grant of £500 towards the cost of their workshop and a short concert. So the event will be free of charge to young musicians.
So I think it would be supported both before.
Yeah, we can support them because they reach out to quite a number of people.
So we actually have.
We've got enough money in the budget.
We actually have a balance of £4,600 in our grant budget. So we can, there's definitely the funds there to support these applications, and we've supported them historically. So I think if there's no debate, if everyone's in favour of approving those 2 grants, please raise your hands.
Chair, we're going to report in Request Finance that we keep the balance for the Youth Services Committee, because there's often youth events in the summer or something we want to do, rather than it disappearing into a pot.
Yeah, I was about to ask that. And because it runs out end of March, yeah.
Could put that on. Thank you. And moving on to our house in the basement reports.
So it reads as Steve. Once again, it's been record numbers since the open 12 years ago. in January, and it looks like February can be the same as well. Various reasons for that, but one of those actually is funding people. Guidance from us to posting a TikTok account. So we usually ask new young people how to heard of us. Some of them think that TikTok. We've had a large group of volunteers from all sorts of places, but particularly from Seven Oaks schools, and we're grateful for that help. And they've been very, we've gone about it in a really good way as well. We've been really professional, really helpful with how they've helped us this afternoon. Scrubbing down the walkway. The last was actually 2 times the rate rather than just 1 better of grass. So, yes, really positive, really. What's going on? We've had different workshops and things. Looking forward to nicer weather, so we've got a few flowers in.
Yeah, because we are going to be doing in bloom again.
Yeah, so we know the colours and we know the themes.
Yes.
So,
They like the
Butterflies.
ancient David Repent.
David Attenborough being 100, yeah. One of the things we're celebrating.
How's the bus going?
Yeah, the bus is going well, so we've been there 3, myself and Levi from Sevens and Youth Trust. Unfortunately, it's been absolutely dark all everyone all 3 weeks. We have seen a few young people, but I think really it's just been a good chance for us to go out, try and work out how the bus works, where everything is. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks or months, we'll see a lot more young people as the weather improves.
Well, I'm guessing it's been so wet this year, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, that's right. I mean, the last 3 Thursdays have been horrible. So, but I think that regularity is quite important. There's feedbacks there.
I was at the Seven Oaks Wildlife Centre, which, as you know, is a SSSI,
Yeah.
and they are reopening their centre and everything, and we're emphasising this morning the educational aspects of it, and that they have people trained to take people around to look at the birds and animals and plants.
Yeah.
It might be worth
Yeah. I mean, we've
considering a visit there because it's very close.
over the last couple of years, we've done a couple of smaller projects there, photography workshop, and a couple of
Yes.
photography workshops. But yeah, no, might pop down and have a chat.
And it's very nice, the new centre and the new Hyde.
Oh, is there a new one then?
Yeah,
Right.
but they were talking about the educational side of things.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when we've taken young people there, some of them never knew it was even there, and they're quite fascinated by getting the hide and
It's be open in March.
right. Side for a new hide on is it on the
Huh?
same? Is it on the same side as the other hides?
Yeah.
The new one, right?
I mean, 278 young people, that's quite a significant increase in numbers, isn't it?
Yeah. Probably only
Busy a month.
20% maybe.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's not been. It's significant, but not.
Yeah.
It's not double.
No, it's great. And the new over 18 sessions, are they later in the evening or
Yeah, no, we haven't had those yet.
the 30, oh, sorry. Am I
What is it,
misreading
Sue?
the January 26th figures with 35 of these being new over 18 sessions?
Over a course of 18 seconds, sorry.
Oh. Over the 18 sessions, not, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh.
I mean, we had talked.
Split it, we don't.
We've talked about special,
Yeah.
special needs
Okay.
provision for 18s.
It's just a typo on that page.
We're just not in a financial position to be able to have staff do more hours for that.
And are the open mic nights bringing lots of new people or is
Yeah,
it?
yeah, I mean, we do get some directors, but we do actually always have people that come on that don't come to anything else. Open mic nights.
Are they looking at work and the difficulties of trying to access work these days for young people?
Or the
So
special needs young people, or full stop,
all of them,
all of them.
because they're all in the same position
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, that's right.
you know, when we were talking about interviewing and stuff, and I know
Yeah.
Peter Dixon did some and I did some.
Yeah.
And, you know, are they too young for all that?
No, not at all. No, not at all. I mean, I think
It's really,
Sevenoaks were in a slightly different position than some other parts of the country. And I'm not saying that there isn't difficulty. But, you know, lots of our young people are either high achievers or they're looking to achieve.
the high achievers having quite a lot of difficulty.
Yeah, going into the
says.
areas they want to go into. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, I mean, there's always advice there. You know, we've always offered CV writing as one of the things that we can do with them.
If you want more people to get.
Yeah, no, thank you. You've offered that before, and that's
Yeah.
really helpful. Thank you.
And Peter did too, Peter Dixon.
Was all very good positive news. And the finances are on pages 66 to 99. And I think they're all looking kind of as we'd expect this time of year. Nothing particular to note there, is there?
It's the self-finance, only one thing.
So if we could just note those thoughts. Now, item number 8 on the agenda tonight is to receive and note a report on the Vine Public Space Protection Order. It's on page 70 and 71. Where they're asking whether the order should be renewed for another 2 years. There you go.
So I wasn't 100% convinced when they suggested it initially, but I mean, it doesn't seem to have done any harm. I'm not sure it's necessarily been the main reason why there's been less problems. I think it's probably more the enhanced police presence. And as my children reliably inform me, the Vine's just not the place to go anymore. I don't know what is or why not, but I think because there was a couple of years where it was sort of quite bad. They've kind of moved on, I think, but she doesn't know where they go. But it says it's not so much of an issue now. So we'll see in the summer, I guess. But so I personally, I don't think there's any reason why we shouldn't renew it because it can't hurt. But that's my opinion.
I mean, I don't see any harm that it's causing to give us a reason to not renew. I echo Catherine's comments. I think the only thing I would like to comment on is the lack of data and statistics in this report. The figures we are given compare January the 1st to July the 16th of 23 versus 24. So that excludes the summer holidays and the warmest months of the year. So it just seems odd to me.
We've met saying all
More
of those, offer more.
Well, we would have liked some 25 figures, and you would have liked to have seen some figures for over the summer when young people you would think are gathering rather than during exam periods.
Is it fashion that they've moved on somewhere else?
I think, and also I think because the reputation was that it wasn't a particularly enjoyable place to go for a couple of years because there were quite a lot of problems. So I think people tend to just go to their houses now. I think also, and I guess I was going to say the troublemakers perhaps don't have people to come and make trouble with so much. So they've also found somewhere else to make trouble.
Also, yeah, and if we look back at 2022 and 23, they were like post-COVID years where you had an enormous amount of young people who hadn't been out, so you would have had a wide range of age groups.
I thought it was. I'm speaking on behalf really of the young people. I thought it the PSPO, is it?
PSPO.
Was a bit authoritative.
No, I agree, but I don't think it's necessarily.
And do we need to keep it?
I think the point of the PSPO is it's a sign, it's not actually a tangible thing, it's just something that could be enacted if it's needed. And it does save us paperwork should there be an event in fine. We don't have to have all those enforcements in place for one night. They are there continuously. So
Last time round, we did ask the youth council what they thought, and actually fact they were the ones in favour of it last time. It's a different group of people, it might be worth asking again, but
I think so, because I'm a bit worried about them being, being targeted for something that isn't.
Well, the
It's just-
PSPO does apply to adults too.
yeah.
Do we actually know how many orders have been?
No, there's,
We asked the data and that's all.
Yeah, I seem to remember reading
Completely
something said a bit of Apple, maybe. I don't think it's big numbers, I read in the paper maybe.
You might find out more at district, but that's all.
Because that was always our worry, I think, that it could be sort of lasting record.
Yes,
for somebody,
yes.
If they were to go fine and it was to stay with their record, but I think we were assured at the time it was no different from your sort of a parking fine, kind of in terms of staying on your record.
Yeah, I feel fairly strongly about that too sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe worth asking the youth council what they think that.
And I would like to see some figures for it.
we've already asked for data and figures to accompany this report, and the answer was, this is it. So I guess we could, as district councillors, we could dig a bit deeper if we.
Well, it will be on one of
chose
your
to.
agendas, because the district council makes the
On people
final
and
decision.
places. Okay.
She'd like to think.
Would it be fair to say that what Maxine has said at these meetings, that so maybe was been less over
It
the
is.
last?
Yeah, definitely over the last few
18
years, yeah, if you had a spike, if you like, and the problem she normally reports is in the town car park.
Yeah.
Which is drivers, which is really over the age of 17. They still refer to them as young people, but if you're driving around, it's not what we classify as young people.
We had a large gathering out there, didn't we?
Yeah,
After the lighting up event, but it didn't really come to fruition. There was several of them down there.
There was quite a big police presence there, wasn't there?
No. There was no
to be truthful, I think we're easier without them.
So do we need to vote on that, or?
It would be useful to have what the committee's recommendation is, because we do need to let the SDC what you want to do.
So I think it is our recommendation that we have no objection to the PSPO being renewed with an informative that we would like to receive updated and ongoing data, including,
Certainly not a topic of conversation that.
you know, how often
We see.
the PSPO is implemented and its reasoning.
Yeah.
Do you need to be in there about consulting the youth themselves,
And I guess, yes, as an action for us that we will ask the youth service their thoughts.
Because, yes, obviously I'm against continuing ahead. Yeah.
And I think it's.
So you can vote
You can
against
be
that
aware of it.
recommendation?
You can do it, yeah.
Yes, okay, so could those in favour of that, please raise their hands. And against? Would you like that noted?
Yes, yeah, I think it's actually a potentially serious thing.
Okay, so item number 9 is a report on the youth services that are provided here at Sevenoaks Town Council. I'd like to extend my thanks to officers who've taken the time to pull this together, because I think it's a really excellent overview of just how much we do here at Sevenoaks Town Council for youth services, and it's something we can be really proud of. I hope everyone's had the time to read through it. Does anyone have any comments or anything they'd like to?
I think it's important that we're reaching out to young people at a critical time in their lives, and that we're reaching out to SEND children and to needs. We're trying to, aren't we?
Yeah.
Unsuccessfully, but
Yeah, the needs issue is another.
because it's a big issue.
Yeah,
even in Seven Oaks.
I think it's also good to highlight the grants that have been given and the links of those as well. I think seeing those are written down as well, makes us realise how we can support them.
I actually have a question, Linda. What will happen to this report now? Are we,
I think it'll be used as an ongoing document when we have queries or questions about shall we do this, shall we do that? Is collecting this data is always useful when you're making future decisions. Budget is always the number one issue, isn't it? When we talk about finances, it's always useful to show what you do. But also that it may be in relation to facilities or something else. So the fact that we've pulled it all together, it can always be used as a background document for that. Also potentially, having identified the gap last section. I think it's unlikely in the current climate, the town council will find a lot more money to address those gaps, but there's a new community hub. Unfortunately, the lady's not here tonight, but that's addressing a lot of youth things. So we can say we've identified these gaps. Youth council continue to, even with the new group, continue to address the gap in mental health support. It is all out there, but there seems to be a disconnect between the enormous amount of investment and people who are doing this and the young people being able to find out where it is. And that's probably because a lot of the information is aimed at the parents about how they can get help, and it's not really aimed at the young people. So I think it's useful, and I think won't be doing something tomorrow or next week, but it's ongoing and definitely demonstrates what we do and identifies the gaps and the funding. Opportunity comes along, we're ready for things like that.
I think it's important, Chairman, that we do make that we are noting down this and in this instance, noting the gaps in service provisions. We've given you lack of support from Kent County Council. Then it could well miss being on the agenda for the new unitary authorities when they're formed. And I think it's a big issue because the schools need all of those. Did I say that clearly?
Yes, yeah.
No, just say, I think, first of all, yeah, definitely thank you, because that's a lot of work, but also, it's an opportunity, I think, to take pride in the sort of the scope and the scale and the quality of the provision that we have and the variety, actually. It's not all a certain group of kids that are talented, it's not all a certain group of activity. It must, I was chatting to it about it at break time today, actually, the quality of provision of, sport and stuff in this town is just beyond any other local town. It's sort of miles to get that level of access.
Yeah.
So, no, full credit to everyone involved. And it's good that it's all in one go-to place, so I think you can then justify how well we do it, but that's not a reason to be complacent with this, because things change all the time.
But it's a base data now, so if something changes, it's easier to update this now than it used to start.
Yes, and we didn't even know how to start, did we? So thank you
For doing it.
for doing it and bearing with
there's
us.
there's lots to celebrate. I think at the town council, we're punching above our
Yes.
Oh, God, yeah.
but there's still masses of need. But that's something that the district council / unity and national government will have to
Must
take
stay on
grasp
the
of. That will
agenda,
come up in the agenda for the
mustn't it?
Sorry?
Must stay on the agenda.
Oh, 100%. The new government are making the right noises, let's see. They can come up with that.
Start delivering.
Is there merit to sort of linking this with sort of census data about, wealth levels, income, all of those sorts of things you can pull out of the census and have a look at what our kind of baseline kids actually are here.
The district council definitely has that. and down towards, I think.
Yeah.
So,
The KCC publish it, don't they?
yeah. So we've used it in the past when we've needed to apply for grants. We've had to say, you know, what our level of deprivation is and etc. So
There must be quite a lot of guys with food banks, for example.
Probably more than you think. There's definitely more than you think in certain pockets. Yeah,
we can ask Maxine if she could have section 2 about that.
a little appendix or
Have it,
something, and
yeah.
it's all in one place, isn't
Yeah.
it? Should we ever need to refer to it? It's quite good. I mean, I think this is excellent in terms of, you know, an overview of what we do in terms of like the value it generates. I know we've had discussions here before about social value, and I think public services in general moving forward that's the direction it'll take. We don't have the software or the skills or resources currently, but I think it would be nice to include in the minutes, just that's something we would like to add to this report at a point when resources allow.
Because we do have a local charity, Dorothy Parrott. Is it Dorothy Parrott Charity? And the mayor always gets involved in that, which can help with things like beds,
Right.
and clothes, and you know, helping with children who can't access clothes for sport and.
There's lots of excellent charities, and organised.
That's a local charity with one of the people who was the mayor here. Started Dorothy Parrott.
Go back a step, what's the barrier to gathering data?
And we have data, it's about using, you know, the social value software that translates this data into the social value infographics and everything. And so as it turns out, it you know, brings so much GDP and it does this and it does that. There's a skill in the software that you use to do it, and it's I think it's one of those things, the more you use, the probably the easier it is. We haven't used it, we've had a training session on it.
Okay,
SDC have it, it's quite expensive.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to, is the
If you
barrier,
use, the barrier
user
first of all is
access
to
to
buy
the
the
software.
software.
yeah,
And then secondly is being able to do it. If you're in a place that does it quite regularly.
yeah.
I expect SDC have a dedicated person doing it, frankly. And I know FM Conway have a dedicated person doing it because they like to turn if you see their reports, you know, it's not how many rows they've dug up, it's how much it's benefited the people, well-being, etc. It's more about well-being and
Yeah,
so it translates that, and that data is always debatable because you use a nationally recognised system, and it will say, you know, 50 young people went to that, and that's benefited their well-being by X, Y, and Z, and maybe their families, and maybe something else, and less, and the towns benefited by that, and that's all not produced by us. It's a national thing that you go into, but then it can be when we've done it before. So we've done it before for the stag, before COVID, and that was actually turned out to be a far better report than we ever expected, and that helped us get a lot of funding. But people who are involved in statistics, I won't name names, but there are people around here who are involved in statistics, will debate that to the nth degree that they don't think it could be done something else, and it's
well, I mean, the model's only good as the assumptions.
yes,
But
yes,
yes,
and people can
Well,
debate the assumptions,
yeah,
that's the problem,
that's the
yeah,
problem.
but it does give you an indication. Yeah,
Something
that's what,
to agree around.
that's what, yeah, exactly, yeah. So, we've done it, and we had to do it for the Bramble Station, it was a requirement there to do it, for that when we had the HLF funding. I think that cost us about £5,000 to have that done, we didn't do it, somebody did it for us. And the stag one was about £5,000.
Is it a requirement for the tarmac youth centre there? Another one, Baton Ball.
The Oast House.
Yeah, yeah.
It would only be a requirement if somebody puts it in as a funding.
Hmm.
You know, it was a condition on receiving the money from the HLA that we did one, and they gave us the money to do it.
Mm.
But it is, you know, it is an expensive
Mm.
item. And it would only be as good as at that point, you know, the following year you might need to do another one. But I mean, it's not something we don't want to do, we do, it's just, it's not as high a priority as many
time.
other things that we're doing. If you look at, you know, the 4 towns in the district, I thought it was quite useful because I just asked them what they did and put it in this report.
Mm.
And we knew we did more, but not to this level. And I think we're, you know, we are trying hard to maintain that service without
That's brilliant.
keep trying to add more to it. Because it just stretches the resources thinner.
Mm.
So I think, you know, you'll record in a minute, we will do such value. It might be something that if we have an intern, graduate intern or something that we can do, you know, the benefit of it is for one of us to do it and learn from it, so you can do it easily the next time, but also.
So from our youth plan to the government's new 10-year youth plan, which is on pages 77 to 97. So I think that the new government has proposed a 10-year plan to invest more in youth services. But, and that Linda is looking into whether anything might be available to our town, but probably it's probably not aimed at us. No. I did read through it, and yeah, I did read through it, and I think it was something like, you know, they promised 50 new hubs across the country. So. Yeah.
Right, that Tower Hamlets the closest, aren't they?
Probably.
Come back to that short start.
I don't think it's quite as ambitious as Sure
No,
Start. Sure
it's
Start was something else, wasn't it?
The community hub is almost a replacement for Sure Start.
Mm.
If they do everything they tell us they're going to do, it would be good, so.
I mean, I found it shocking that, yeah, 1,000 youth centres closed and 4,500 youth worker roles were lost in the space of just over 10 years.
Which is what, yeah,
But the irony is,
So 73%.
Well,
Drop in
culture-
services.
what you're doing, we're supporting is so important.
Yes, that's it. I mean, our provision is more in excess of what other towns are offering, even in this district.
Yeah,
Yeah, figures of 110,000. But this is not small. Question of Eden Bridge, we're closer to 15 or 20, aren't they? Smaller towns, but not that small.
that's one.
but
And the need is probably
As
as
great.
great.
the short start kids are now early 20s, they're way ahead of comparable kids.
Are they?
Is that right?
That would be interesting to read that sometime. If you like to send us where it is.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and hunt. But yes,
Yeah,
it's definitely got this to see that.
yeah, it will help the thinking, won't it? And support what we're trying to do.
But it is a plan, and there will be £500 million of money being invested in the most deprived areas where it's really needed. So I think we should be.
But there's a problem here where you've got quite a lot of difference between the most deprived and the most affluent. And the tension also needs some managing. Doesn't it?
It does, but I think you'll find that, you know, one of the reasons we always had the youth cafe in town centre was because people said when we did the original survey, a long time ago now, admittedly, that they didn't want them in different parts of the town because they would become territorial. So the Greatness kids wouldn't have gone to one in Kippington, Kippington wouldn't have gone to one in Greatness, and none of them would have gone to Hillingdon or whatever. And so they all said they wanted it in the town centre, and it's a leveller, you know, that you have young people, very academic, coming from Seven school, and others perhaps not even at school. And they all play pool together, and they do music together, and they eat together,
Yes.
and they get to know about each other.
Most people
And they,
tonight are from the North
And
District.
and they would probably never have met
Sorry
each
about
other
that.
in day-to-day
No,
society if they
Yeah.
didn't come there and mix.
Mm.
So, it is quite a good level of,
Yes.
you know, they're just young people when they're in there, they're not
Yeah.
talking about their background
yeah, it's
or
quite
anything
interesting
else.
to see some Seven Oaks.
No, it's just
school
some of the
girls
teaching
playing
that
pool
we try to do things.
with, you know, people from the Graham's estate.
That's really good. I enjoyed that as well.
Okay, moving on to our reports from our co-opted partners. So, we haven't Maxine with us this evening. Did she send anything? No, normally she doesn't, she? So, Peter, nice to see you. Thanks for coming.
Nice to be back. Several months since we met last. I think the first thing to say was we had fun just before Christmas at our Christmas party where we welcomed the mayor and his wife. It turned up after having done carol singing at the station, so there was a little bit of horseplay and but it was really good actually seeing the youngsters come up to them, who are you, what do you do, and give them a bit of questioning and
What's that silly coat?
they were very intrigued. Yeah, it was all very respectful and very, very interesting to see the dynamics. The only thing I think they were a little bit disappointed was he didn't join in the basketball. But perhaps that was to be expected. It was a bit of a cold and wet night. That's lovely. It was really nice seeing him there, and we were glad he was there because we were one of his charities this year. So it's actually nice to have him come along and explain to them what he's doing on their behalf. But as far as business as usual concerned, we're still doing our Tuesday nights. Weather, dark nights is reducing numbers a little bit, and we've imagined that by the time we get into springtime, the numbers will go up again. But we're very much invested at the Basketball Centre on the Tuesday. On a Thursday, though, we used to run another session at the Vine Evangelical Church. We've terminated that due to reducing numbers, and it's become a bit more focused on faith. So we're trying to push them. We're going to hand over to Vine Evangelical Churches to use people to take forward their faith side of things, which frees us up to try and find where we go to next. And as Darren said earlier on, Levi, our outreach worker, is going out on the bus to try and find out where the youth are. And we'll probably flip our outreach, second outreach day to Wednesday. I think that's the day we don't use the bus.
We don't use the bus on Wednesday.
So it'll no harm for us. So we'll hopefully be using it at its optimum by doing that.
Although it's
Well,
available to
It's
hire
available,
other
we
people.
can't guarantee.
No, I think we recognise we have to hire it. So we might step in.
It's not so much that, it's about availability, but I don't know what West Kent are doing with their bus now. I mean, it's just sitting in our car park.
There's no more options, no?
I don't think it has moved since they stopped doing youth work, so
Well,
we should inquire about that,
Yes,
with Richard,
please.
and see if we can use it.
Did we talk about it at one of these meetings? I thought, well, Richard.
I think he was quite open that you could use it if it was available.
because it's just rotting otherwise.
Well, yeah, and it's not a minibus as such as it is. It's more of a van, isn't it?
Is it? Right.
It's in converse
Not
with all
Well,
that.
it's nice, isn't it?
It's the whole snow.
No,
I think one picks up my phone as soon as I walk in. As soon as I get in there.
So that's our plan for the springtime, is do some reconnoitring now to try and find out where the youth are. But of course, being the winter time, maybe they're not out and about. But if we can identify where they are, we'll complement the work that you're doing in a way. Get out there and try and get out and see them on another day in the week. And that's it really. So we're business as usual in one area and trying to plant seeds for the other day of the week. So as that progresses, we'll keep you posted.
Are you still looking to employ another worker?
We are. We are talking to one of the local churches, Vine Evangelical Church, which has a youth worker on a part-time basis, and we're looking to see whether we can fund the other part.
Okay.
So we would end up with 2 part-time youth workers. Levi, not giving anything away, is thinking about retiring next year. So this would be a segue to see whether we can afford 2 in the short term, and then we've definitely got 1 in the longer term.
Yeah.
There were due to be conversations between Dawn, our chair, and the church, but I don't know how they've gone. So I can't report back, but that is the intention if we can, to have a second youth worker. We found when we had 2 youth workers previously, we were a bit more engaged locally. So we're trying to replicate that and have that double ability really. So again, fingers crossed that will come to fruition. As long as they get someone, getting youth workers around here is a challenge at times.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Seven Oaks is not a cheap place for people to come in to work at.
Hmm.
So that would be our main thing is can we afford to get someone in and then the longevity of our funding, but at the moment it's healthy.
Again, the new wildlife centre might be a resource for you.
Indeed. I haven't been around it yet, but I intend to go around there a little bit myself, but thank you. I've made a note of it already.
It's just reminding me, I'm sorry, it's not in the report, it just reminded me when you're saying about youth outreach and detached that when the new pavilion opens in Greatness, part of our funding deal was that we could have, I think, I'll check for the minute, the new gym that we can have 10 hours a week for youth provision, free of charge.
That's good.
So, might not be 10.
That's a 10 hours sounds generous.
So
2 hours a
I
day.
think it might not be 10, I'll
Or
check.
something.
Yes, anyway, but you can have a session a week.
Might be able to combine them.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be our staff, but we have the choice who does it. It might be better for or somebody else, but we work out and we'd have to pay them, so.
Is this at the new pavilion?
Yeah,
So the football club running the gym the rest of the time.
yes,
Yeah.
but, you know, not just for them members that we can let young people use it free of charge for.
So this could go into the health and wellbeing event.
Yeah, it's early days. I don't know what the equipment looks like yet, but
Or do it
what we don't want is young people around that area sort of peering in through the window and thinking they can't afford to use it and can't use it. So
That's important.
so we were very keen that we included that in there. So as we get nearer to that time, it probably won't be September because that we when the building finished being built and there'll still be a lot of fitting out to do, but definitely this time next year, I hope young people will be using it, so.
And that's could be a really useful thing.
Yeah,
to do.
They might attract a different group of young people as well.
Mm.
Okay, so unfortunately, Ellen has been unable to join us this evening due to family matters, but we'll be hopefully she'll join us another time because she was going to come and talk to us about the new community hubs that are.
We need to know about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So
She will be giving the same talk at our annual meeting, so hopefully you'll be there. So
Oh, really?
excellent.
I hope she'll be there, because she's our key speaker.
Because they've not been informed about other.
And I don't think we have received any other reports from KCC Early Hope or the National
Right.
Trust, so that moves us on to item number 12, which are our press releases. Press release at once.
Maybe we can ask our community engagement officers to do something about the report, pick out some highlights and say you discussed it.
In which case, if there are no further comments, I will close the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Spartan.
Right. You lost it. Okay, well, take the shutter off now and we'll have a look at it in one.
The elderly people, we elderly people are enjoying.
Try and turn the back to the roses and just go look funny.
Oh, yeah, is that tomorrow, isn't it?
Nothing. Oh, she was worried.